What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list. So I want to go over all the things you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. And so this is a Christmas edition. So Merry Christmas to all of you that kind of celebrate and so forth. Spend time with family, friends. That is what is truly important. But getting right to it, not in any particular order. First one is ticker HYPD. So sitting at 402. Over the last 1 year, it is down 41.3%. Over the last 5 days, though, it's starting to build up some good momentum, up 32.24. Generally, I like to pick stocks that have some kind of pre-existing momentum, and plus in many cases shorts just being fairly overextended, and so this one does meet that criteria. There's a lot of good information right over here, such as market cap, volume, and so forth. If you are curious, this is what they do. So Pharmaceuticals, 14 employees based out of good old NYC. 24.58% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 1.58 million shares overall being shorted. So shorts honestly have been holding on for dear life for the greater part of pretty much the last several months, and so whoever is shorting this stock definitely has some fairly deep pockets. Nonetheless, DTC sitting at 4.21 days does signal that shorts are overextended, because that does factor in the average volume in comparison to number of shares being shorted, and then short score is 87.09. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. Through IBKR does indicate about 85,000 shares is available to be shorted. Reason why I bring that up is sometimes with stocks with limited supply, you could be seeing some buying from big players such as BlackRock and Vanguard, who buy stock just for the purposes of lending it out, especially with cost to borrow being at roughly 87.74%, which is an annual rate, not a daily rate, but that might be very much incentivizing for big money to buy. So this is the first one to add to your watch list. Moving on to the next one, ticker is CRDF, so Cardiff Oncology, sitting at 318. Over the last 1 year, down 18.8%. Over the last 5 days, though, it is starting to build up some good momentum as well, up 26.66. As far as what they do, this is it. So biotech, 33 employees, founded in 1999, based out of good old San Diego. Aside from that, though, 24.5% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 15.9 million shares overall being shorted. So when it comes down to shorts, similar to the last stock, they've been holding on for kind of dear life for a while now, in fact. So that obviously signals that they have fairly deep pockets, especially as of late. The stock price has been really going up, but DTC being at 18.4 days, that does really scream squeeze if you kind of think about it, because that really signals that shorts are very overextended. And for a biotech, that is very dangerous. But aside from that, though, short score is 88.71, and then through IBKR does indicate roughly around 400,000 shares is available. Cost to borrow sitting at about 7.5, so kind of on the low end somewhat, but still you could be seeing some buying going into kind of the next couple of trading days. So add this one to your watch list. Moving on to the next one. This one definitely has been fairly popular, and so that ticker is LUNR, so Intuitive Machines, sitting at 1671. Over the last 1 year, pretty much flat, and then over the last 5 days, up 30.67%. So this stock has been on fire recently. This is the company profile, so aerospace and defense, 435 employees, founded in 2013. Right now, 21.69% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 24.3 million shares overall being shorted. DTC 3.09 days, again does signal that shorts are overextended, not to the same magnitude as Cardiff, but still it is fairly high. Short score 70.14, and then through IBKR does indicate 1 million shares, and cost to borrow is kind of on the low end at 1.45. So most likely you won't be seeing any buying going into the next couple trading days, because there's sufficient amount of shares, and plus cost to borrow is kind of on the low end. But nonetheless, there's some good pre-existing momentum, and shorts are still overextended, so add this one to your watch list. Moving on to the next one, ticker is Unusual Machines, UMAC is the ticker. 1307 is what it's sitting at. Over the last 1 year, down 10%, and then over the last 5 days, up 41.9%. This is what they do. So electronic equipment and instruments, 16 employees, founded in good old Orlando in 2019. Right now, 16.6% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 5.7 million shares overall being shorted. DTC being at 1.68 days, and shorts recently started to really get back in. And so short interest in October was roughly around 9%, and that's kind of where most of the time they seem to be really kind of sitting around. But with the stock price starting to gain some more kind of momentum over the last several weeks, you are seeing shorts being very reactive. So again, if good momentum does continue, then you could see a little bit of a pinch. Short score is sitting at 68.93. So again, another one to really add to your watch list. And then last but not least, you have REDCAT Holdings sitting at 909. Ticker is RCAT. Over the last 1 year, down 23.5%, and then over the last 5 days, up 22.07. So starting to build up some good momentum. I know I didn't really bring this up, but for those of you that are more focused, more quantitative data and so forth, feel free to pause the videos and look at this. So this is Seeking Alpha. So it has the quantitative ratings, Wall Street ratings, and Seeking Alpha analyst ratings. So based on the quantitative data, it does have valuation as a C, growth as a B+, profitability D, momentum B-, and then revisions D-. So this is a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily bring up in these types of videos, only because it would make it like a 30 to 45 minute video if I'm bringing up, for instance, all of this kind of full detail and whatever else. But aside from that though, if you are curious, let me know. I can always kind of throw some data in the description below. If you're curious on what this company does, this is it. So based out of San Juan in the US right now, 23.01% at the free float is being shorted. Works to be 24.27 million shares overall being shorted. Short score 71.28, and then DTC sitting at 2.2 days. So again, another stock with shorts being fairly overextended. Through IBKR though, does indicate roughly around 250,000 shares is available. Cost to borrow sitting at 5.21, so kind of on the low end, but you never know. You could be seeing some buying going over the next couple of trading days, as big money will kind of just buy and maybe take the 5%. So nonetheless, add a lot of these to your watch list. Let me know your thoughts on them. Is there any other squeeze plays that are out there? One final thing, Merry Christmas, spend time with family, like I said at the very beginning. And with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.